Suzan-Lori Parks is an award-winning playwright and screenwriter. Her 2001 play, Top Dog Underdog, won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 2002. Her previous screenwriting work includes Girl 6 and Native Son. Director-producer Lee Daniels is an Academy Award-nominated filmmaker whose work is trademarked by authenticity and candor. His previous works include Monsters Ball, Precious, and The Butler. Together, these two acclaimed artists will introduce the world to Grammy-nominated singer Andra in a show-stopping performance as Billie Holiday, and Hulu presents The United States versus Billie Holiday. So this story, the U.S. versus Billie Holiday, is based on the Black Hand, a chapter out of the Black Hand on Billie Holiday and Johann Hari's 2015 best-selling book, Chasing the Scream, The First and Last Days of the War on Drugs. Tell the audience, why were you reading that?
Some great producers and writer, Mark Baumbach and Jeff Kirschenbaum, brought me the article to read. And but as a child, I had heard from my parents that, you know, they got to her. So I knew that there was a truth there, and the article just laid the truth bare for me.
All right. And so when did you decide to write this phenomenal screenplay?
Yeah, thank you. It was a couple of years. Lee's gonna have to help me. Yeah, it was like
before
couple of years.
How long
before
ago?
Like you should.
I love us. Don't you love us?
Absolutely.
We're so into it.
I saw an interview. Sorry for cutting you off. You had said something about back during Precious, roughly. Like, so this is a while.
No.
Don't you love me? Don't you love me?
It was like
end of 17.
17.
There you go,
Okay.
something like that.
End of 17.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so you had some time to ponder it. I was watching your Hulu interview, and you mentioned you were talking with Trevante?
Yes, sir.
And he said it wasn't quite ready yet, so it had some time to marinate. So does it matter to you, Susan, who directs your screenplays?
Yeah. It matters, because I want the best. I want these great directors like Lee Daniels directing my script. No, really, man, because Lee, two things among the many things that Lee does so well. He totally is down with the depth of the story from jump, right? He doesn't shy away from that. Some directors do shy away from that. Lee does not, and he gets great performances out of actors. So it's a win-win, you know.
Mm-hmm. So quickly tell the audience about the story, the U.S. versus Billie Holiday.
Okay, well, Billie Holiday, the famous. Do you want Lee to tell it?Lee hasn't said that.
No, I think
you guys go for it.
SLP is better at
SLP. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So Billie Holiday, the famous Billie Holiday, is she has been given a song called "Strange Fruit," written by a guy named Abel Meeropol, right? And she loves singing this song. Not loves it, meaning it costs her everything, but she must tell her truth, because the song is about the America's lynching of people of color, specifically Black people. And so she must sing this song. Now, the government doesn't like that she sings this song. The government doesn't like that she gets people riled up. And so the government decides to seize on her well-known drug habit as a way to pull her down. And they say, if you stop singing the song, we'll leave you alone. But she says, I will sing this song. I won't just, shut up and sing. I'm going to give voice to the truth. And it is ultimately her downfall. Yeah.
You have something to add, Lee?
No, I just think that, what's great about the stories is that it's one of the many, many stories. SLP and I both didn't know that this story even was out there. And, I take pride in knowing about Black history. And I just think that, we've often said this, and it's just, as we've continued on with this journey, I understand the significance of this woman and in her being at the forefront of what was now known the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think that she didn't get the credit for the work that she did. I don't think she knew she was even like standing up or anything, but just doing the right thing, talking about Black people being lynched. So I think that she didn't get the credit. When you think about Billie Holiday, you think about a troubled jazz singer, a drug addict, someone that was in and out of jail, you don't really think of somebody standing up and doing the right thing at a very difficult time, not just for Black people, but Black women.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I saw when I first when this first came across my desk, and I was reading about her being this, you know, civil rights godmother, as you guys coined her. And then I did a little research, and it's absolutely correct. A writer had said that it was the first significant protest in words and music, the first significant cry against racism, the song Strange Fruit. I thought that was, you know, we're all learning here, you know what I mean? That Strange Fruit was a protest song. Why do you think the US government doesn't like these protest songs, any protest songs?
Come on, they gotta keep believing. The US government has to keep believing the big lies that support its supremacy. So Strange Fruit is a truth that does not support its supremacy. So they don't like it. I mean, you know, it's pretty simple, I think.
Yeah, they've jammed up so many record. Was she the first to get jammed up by the government? First recording artist to get? I know Paul Robeson
yes
preceded her a little bit, but first female.
I believe it. You know one thing? This is the first that, look, guys, this is, as we said, we just found out about her. How many other stories are there? I would have never said this 10 years ago, that Billie Holiday was in this, you know, that she was, we wouldn't be in this conversation. So probably, but who knows, could be not.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Lee, choosing, her name is Andra. Is it Andra Day?
It's Andra.
It's Andra. Like Sandra. Like Sandra.
Okay, all right. So yeah, she was a risk, considering her lack of acting experience. What type of challenges did you have working with her? And I understand she obviously did a good job. She's got a Golden Globe nomination. Is that correct? Yeah. Excellent.
She was incredible. I mean, I just think that she was the glue to sort of bring it all together, to bring Billie together in this, with this. She had never acted before. You hear her talk about it now. We've done several interviews together. You hear her talk about her process and you really think, I didn't really want her for the job, you know, in the beginning, and she was nervous about doing it. I think it was really just Billie just looking down saying, you're going to tell this story, and you're going to tell this story with her, and this is how we're going to do it. And I just think, I really believe in the universe putting her in my lap at that moment, because it could have gone in many different directions. She's incredible. I don't know whether you've seen the movie yet, but you walk away with, this is Billie Holiday.
Yeah, no, I have seen it. I mean, for her first time out, man, I mean, that's amazing. You know, she's lifted.
I don't think for any time out. I don't know of an actor to this day that has affected me, an actor, and I've worked with all of them. I don't know that I have seen a performance like this in my lifetime.
Yeah. It was phenomenal. How about her co-star, Trevante?
Yeah, Trevante. That was hard, you know. That was really hard because he's a bad guy. How do you care for a bad guy? That's a nuanced performance, man. I mean, like, you know, he ratted her out. And for us to now like care for him in any way, it was really hard. So that to me was the hardest part of direction. You know, was really making sure that he walks away, as every Black man that had done. Even my dad, you know, was a cop. My dad was a cop, and he had to. He done some unspeakable things to move. I saw him cry for the first time when I was a kid coming home after the move thing. He did some unspeakable thing, and he came in crying. And I knew that he was at the hands of Rizzo, who was just, you know, telling him to do some atrocity. So I saw a lot of Trevante in my dad.
Oh, wow. That's deep, brother. That's deep. So what are some of the things that you want the audience, and that's just for both of you guys, what are some of the takeaways you want the audience to walk away with after seeing this? It's actually an epic film, and it was going to be in the theaters. If that is correct, right? But COVID pushed everything to streaming. Yeah. I mean, you know, the costumes, the lighting, everything is phenomenal. We need that big screen, you know, that big screen, get that sound on top of us. But you know, there
were like 3 or 4 films that were shot on film, and we are one of them. People don't shoot on film. We shot film, but nobody shoots on film anymore. And so I really thought that it was going to be on the big screen, and so it's really disappointing. I haven't really gotten I haven't started getting emotional about it yet, but when it's, I mean, maybe I have to go to Spain or something to see the movie. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would be cool is if they re-release everything everything that was affected by COVID back into the theaters, so people can check them out. Because I mean,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, cinema files. Everybody needs that experience. But back to my question: what are some of the takeaways you want the audience to walk away with having watched this, Laura? Suzan-Lori.
I'd appreciate if people, after watching the United States versus Billie Holiday, would realize that Billie Holiday is a soldier, and by recognizing the soldier in her, they can begin to recognize the soldier in themselves. We all have a part to play. We all have a truth to speak. And there are times when we're often afraid of the consequences, but if we can learn something from the way she lived her life, that would be great.
Lee, talk to the audience about Miss Freddie and hairdresser Roslyn. That's Billie Holiday's crew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's another great thing I love about the film. What SLP did was she gave birth to people that we don't see, that we don't recognize around. We don't see, I never seen Miss Freddie in a movie before, in a legit movie before. And, I speak to people like Denzel Washington and just friends that everybody got a Miss Freddie. Everybody knows a Miss Freddie. Everybody knows a Miss Freddie. Billie didn't shy away from him, Miss Freddie, and I think that we have to give life to people like that. And I'm just so happy that I'm able to, that we were able to bring that character to life. And also, like, it was part of we needed some humor into it. And I think that the actor really brought a lot of fun to, a sort of a dark subject matter when you think about it.
Yeah, it's very dark. I kind of feel, sentimental about her because, she had no help. It seems like she had no help, right? And she's very vulnerable, and there's no one. I'm thinking like, well, where's her agents? Where's her manager? Where's her lawyers? And it just seems like she's just ass out. And that kind of touched me, and I don't want to get too sentimental about it, but that touched me. Was it, when you did your research, was there anybody in there? Because I know when some of these other guys, these our era singers who have been jammed up by I was watching an interview last night with Luther Campbell, and he mentioned nobody came to help him when the government came to mess with him. He had no help. He had to pay for it all by himself. So was there any help for Billie Holiday?
She was surrounded by people, those who could help, like Miss Freddie, like Roz, couldn't help on the level that she needed it. Right. And those who had influence often were not helpful to her. A boyfriend who could have had some pull with the cops to help her get her cabaret card back didn't do it. A husband might have thrown her under the bus. So the people who were powerful around her didn't help her in the way she needed. Really, I mean, she had a couple of people in her band, like Prez. He was a righteous man, a great musician, was very helpful and loving to her, and several others. But when it came to the government, that's you need a superhero in a way.
And here's the thing too, just as someone that has struggled for many, many decades with addiction, I know that I could not have come through this without a support team. And when you think of this woman, because women weren't even allowed in AA at the time. And Black women, who knows who knows what was going on. And I think that, that's what I identify most with her, that she didn't give a F. She didn't give a F. She was determined to do, she thought it was going to be her last day on earth every day. And she lived it to the fullest. And she did it on her own. I just think if she had the support that we have today, oh my God.
Yeah, where'd she be?
Where would she be?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, I want to thank you. Do you have any parting words? I know you have a heart out. Do you have any parting words for our audience, sir? I
want everybody to see the movie. I think we both put our souls in this movie, and Andra, our team, put our souls in this movie, and it's financed by a Black man. Studios would not would not finance this film because it was a little too expensive for their appetite. And it's beautiful. It's not just about Billie's journey, but it's about the making of the film that I'm just excited about, that we ended up with a Black financier who believed in our vision, and it's great. It's great.
Well, that comes on this Friday, February 26th on Hulu. Suzan-Lori and Lee Daniels, thank you both for joining us on the Color Conversation. Appreciate your time.
All right,
Okay.
brother. Thank you. Thanks
All
for
right.
having us.